This week on Tasmanian Takeover, we find out what Berto smells like. Was it my fault that we lost to the Wildcats? And we have 4 massive games to preview and review. All that and more right here on the Ants Nest. March on, Jackies.
These JackJumpers, they just never say die. What is up, Ant Army? This is Tasmania Takeover, the Ants Nest, for another week. There's my buff-headed co-host bouncing his head around. He loves that music, don't you, son?
It just gets me so excited to podcast.
A little behind the scenes, we stopped playing it live before we, with the recording, like there's a way to do it and whatever else goes live. And all I did was listen to a couple of weeks of whinging because he wasn't pumped up. So anyway, he being JD.
Podcast all sad. It was no good.
Didums. Anyway, you might have noticed we're running a couple of days behind. We're just experimenting with changing our days and when we're going to actually record and whatnot, just to try and fit our busy schedules and life and every other little thing in between. But that's okay. We are still coming to you each and every week. And of course, you should be following us on all the socials at Tasmanian Takeover for all the good stuff. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We promise there are going to be all our clips up on TikTok really soon. So if you're a TikToker, you can get all that. Keep liking, sharing, promoting, leave comments. Look, I'm not going to sit here and do like all the YouTubers do with like and subscribe and slap that like and all that crap. The reality is we're a niche podcast. We are 100% independent for fans by fans, and we want to get into as many ears and eyes as possible. So the more you like, share, even subscribe to the various channels, the more the algorithms actually push us forward. So if you give a shit about the podcast, if you care about your team and us talking about the team, please help us out. And that's probably about all I'm going to bang on about that. JD, how are you, brother?
Oh, I've had better weeks. If I'm honest, Berto coming off 3 losses. We're joining the demolition crew to knock down the Silver Dome. I think it's best that we just bulldoze it and start again. There's obviously I don't know if it was built on an Indian burial ground or something like that, but there's a curse.
You've got family in construction. Can't we get a favour call?
I do. I can get the diggers and the bulldozers there within a couple of hours. I'm
thinking it's going to be needed. Look, we were really hoping that by the time we recorded, now being Friday evening, hopefully you're actually watching this before the game coming up on Saturday. We were hoping that we would have been celebrating a win. And we will talk about the game, and there was a lot of opportunity to take it. And look, it came down to the wire, and we just didn't clinch it. But the boys put up a great fight. But unfortunately, yes, we are talking a number of losses. We're not going to dwell on that. I think it's really important as fans to sit there and not dwell on the negative and just get behind your team, rally behind the boys, and hopefully they can find their footing. My opinion's very simple, and it's been this way for... well, now it's 5 seasons. We have our slump every year. Every year. There's that slump where everyone starts counting us out for sure, if we weren't already counted out. And we find a way. If there is one thing that is the Jackies way, it's that grit and grind. Not just game by game, but just overall season by season. So let's make this a reasonably positive episode where we'll talk about the games. We'll talk about the fact that we took losses, but this isn't us sitting there, burying our chances for the finals. It's still reasonably early days. We've got team members due to come back. We're talking DJ coming back before the FIBA break. Or just after the FIBA break. I guess it'll be, if he's ready by FIBA break, we'll take the break, keep training, and then go for it. Drim hopefully won't be too far away. But look, as someone who suffers from back problems myself, I could imagine for an elite sportsman, particularly in basketball, where you're bouncing around like a bloody jackrabbit, I could imagine his poor back's copping a hiding, so he needs to rest up for that. And, I mean, the bench, I don't know what's going on with Kobe, what's going on with Archie, but if they're nursing injuries or whatever else, hopefully they're soon in good health, and we can see the second half of the season out healthy and fighting fit. Now, before we get into the games and whatever else, JD and I like to talk a little bit of trash. And the first thing I see on this run sheet is JD's asking what, JD? You can ask the question. Go on.
Well, mate, we've been having a bit of chats back and forth outside the podcast, where sometimes we have a bit of a chat. And you told me that you're going through a bit of a midlife crisis at the moment. You found a new passion off the field, and it's your fragrances. We were just talking about it. You've got a subscription at Chemist Warehouse. They know you by name now. And
well, I think all of them down here in Tassie know me by name now. Yeah, so we've got
give us an idea of what you're wearing. What's your favourite at the moment? What are you rocking?
Well, at the moment,
today?
Look, I'm not rocking anything at the moment that's really a favourite. Yes, I have deeply gotten into fragrances, and I think I have hit a midlife crisis. Here I am, 43 years of age, and went from owning, a couple of basic fragrances, Dolce & Gabbana to one was what I rocked for a long time. Good quality, has about as much lasting power as, we'll keep this PG, but anyway, I'm sure there's blokes that listen to this podcast going, my man, be quiet. But anyway,
less lasting power than the JackJumpers at Spark Arena.
Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, that'll do it. But we've suddenly gotten right into it and spawned by, what was a really nice Father's Day gift, and then just went from there. So we're now sitting on quite a few. We won't go into the exact numbers of them. And no, I haven't paid full price for all of them. Most of them I've gotten through Chemist Warehouse for a little bit of time there, was doing a really good thing where money was being raised for M&D Foundation, and all the testers they had were getting sold off for dirt cheap. So that helped. Completely brand new bottles, just not in regular packaging, just plain packaging. For those who are in the fragrance game, you'll know what I mean when I say a tester bottle. Unused, but just able to be heavily reduced. So it was unreal. So I got a heap of them. But top recommendation, we'll get that out of the way, and then I'm sure this will become a freaking regular on the podcast, judging by JD's
I'm not
face.
forgetting this in a hurry.
Shit. Blokes, if you're looking for something that is just a solid wear, particularly if you're an office worker and you just want to just dominate, Boss Bottled Absolute is just phenomenal. Moment I got my nose on that, it just did not leave my need to get it. I then went and got a small decant. I then got a larger decant, and then I went and brought it. Actually, speaking of which, now we are not sponsored, but I do want to give a shout out to a local business in Hobart, St. Cloud's Perfumery. The guys at St. Cloud's are absolutely phenomenal. Since I've gotten into this, I'm now regular now. I get to talk to Claire quite frequently, and she hooks me up. It's fantastic. Go in there. They've got everything you could want on the wall to have a sniff around. And what they don't necessarily promote, but they have a fantastic service. They will do decants. And by decants, you can pick up a little 3 ml vial. Varying prices, whether it's a designer niche or whatever else, but that is a fantastic way to take home something that maybe you're not too sure about. And I mean, let's face it, some of these fragrances are freaking expensive, so it's pretty good. And then they also will decant into larger travel sizes, like 10 millers and whatever else, and you can either bring your own atomizer, or they can sell you one or whatever else. So highly recommend that, particularly if you're getting addicted to it, like I am, because I don't think I'm ever going to go through this much cologne in all my life. I'll be dead and I'll be burying me with it.
I heard they were selling it to you in 44-gallon drums, and you were selling it at the Kingston car boot market from the weekend.
Mate, I wish I'd make some coin off that one. I'm too freaking lazy to sit there and decant the shit. But anyway, so yeah, get amongst it. I'm sure JD will ask each week. General wear, look, what I have actually got on today is a bit of, what have I got on? Oh, a bit of Mont Blanc Explorer. And, JD, this is where you're really going to start now, you bastard. I'm into layering, where you use multiple scents.
What is layering?
Well, you take multiple scents and you make sure that they don't clash and they actually enhance one another.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, shut up. So today I'm rocking Mont Blanc Explorer with Calvin Klein Eternity layered with it.
Outstanding.
Oh, mate. It smelt outstanding as well. So there you go. All right. This has all been since Father's Day. So given the fact that it is only November now, you now get a real insight into my personality where I become quite obsessed by shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I probably should also say, JD, what are you rocking in the hair care world at the moment? If we're going to start on me, I'm throwing it right back at you because we know that you're a little bit of a sassoon rat.
Yeah, we did have Nathan Sobey at the Silver Dome on the weekend, who I promoted needed to use a bit of hair care product. I forget what it's called. It's called one-on-one or something. It's called. Yeah, I don't remember what it's called at the moment. It comes in a black tube, and I first discovered it at the Singapore airport on the way to the Philippines.
Right.
And I've since tracked it down because it's a ripper. High shine, high hold. Yeah, my hair is like a Lego man's helmet when I put this on. That's how you know it's good stuff.
Fantastic. I think we might need to get into some basketball. Otherwise, we might lose a few listeners at this point. But
yeah, they've all tuned out by this point.
Yeah. Of course, if you'd like to hear anything specific on this podcast, do feel free to email us at tasmaniantakeover@gmail.com and let us know what you would like to or not like to hear on the podcast moving forward. Before we do get into the games, I have a serious question to ask. JD, are you the reason that we lost against the Wildcats?
Yeah, I think so. So I'm in a group chat with a bunch of blokes who we do a fantasy AFL competition. And one of the guys who I beat pretty comprehensively this year at fantasy AFL reached out before the Wildcats game and bet me that if the Wildcats were to beat the JackJumpers at my state, would we swap our first round picks in the draft this year? And I thought, well, all of the Wildcats play for the Adelaide 36ers now, so this is an easy bet. So I took the bet, and this is why I should never gamble, and that's why we don't do a gambling section of the podcast, is because I am horrific at it, and I would send a lot of people broke if I was giving them advice. So, yeah, really heartfelt apology.
I am really starting to think you should just find another team to follow.
I think so.
If it's not the Jersey curse, you're now gambling against our boys.
Gambling. Yeah. No, I gambled for them, but...
Oh, well, for them, but that might as well have been against us.
It may as well have been against, that's right.
Right, well... All I can say to that is I don't think it was just a curse of against the Wildcats. I think you put us on a friggin' very slippery slope.
I think so, yeah. Maybe at Lincoln.
Starting to wonder that. Right, well, let's get into it. And I suppose the big question on everyone's lips, or at least on my lips, no, it's not even a big question on my lips. I already know the answer to this one. Is the Silver Dome cursed?
Yes.
Yes. End of story. 5 seasons, and I don't have the numbers on me at the moment, but it's very bloody low. Out of all the games we've played there, we've only won. I think you can count them all on a couple of fingers. You got
2 wins, 8 losses.
Yeah.
Come on, Lon.
I don't know. Look, I don't know what it is. The arena's had an update. JD on the last podcast gave us a really nice rundown of all the things they did up there and whatever else. And it does look schmick on TV. I mean, it doesn't look like they're playing out in the bloody high school auditorium or hall or whatever you want to call it. they've done a lot of different things over the years too. From, I was thinking back on it based on the conversation I saw in the JackJumpers fan group. There's been, they've brought rings up from Hobart. They've travelled up. Yeah, there was one stage there where they brought the rings up from Hobart. Made no difference. They've travelled up beforehand. They've travelled up a couple of days beforehand. There is just something with that arena, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, someone made a good point, and I started thinking about it. I don't necessarily know how much impact it would have, but apparently it's not well air conditioned. In there, if there's air conditioning at all, I haven't been into the Silverdome. Yeah, I could see that being a problem, and there are a couple of times there where I certainly could see it being a problem. I think it was during the Cairns game. Actually, it looked like there was a little bit of ball slippage, and that sounded terrible. But it looked like hands were slipping on. And even that's going to
that'll happen when there's no aircon.
Yeah, I know. Hey, I think I'm going to have to put a different rating on this podcast. But anyway, and I'm thinking, yeah, okay, but that doesn't account for things like shots not going in and just general performance. Now, we really got to see, and I suppose this is a great segue to start to looking at the different games, and we got to see a much better performance when we played against Southeast Melbourne. And it certainly seemed like a regular game for us. Okay, we didn't take the win, but it felt like a regular game. But against Cairns, it was just shocking.
Yeah, really bad.
So, I mean, Cairns' final score, 69-75. And, I mean, there were a couple of times there where we were really in a hole. Yep. What was the final score for the Southeast Melbourne one? 102-103. And that was a high-scoring game all the way through. And, I mean, we started off in a bloody big hole and dug our way out of that one. Much better performance. Certainly some great performances all around from the team, but it did feel a little bit more cohesive. But again, are we cursed with the Silverdome? And, I mean, I know we're an all Tassie team, but there's something to it when even those in the fan groups who are from up north are saying we'll travel the 2 hours to make it to my state. So, look, I'm all for us playing all over Tasmania. I am not going to be like a gatekeeper who says we've got to only play in Hobart, only my state. But I don't know what it doesn't know. It can't even be to travel because, I mean, they can sit on a plane for a couple of hours to go across to the mainland. Surely it's got to be more comfortable going up in a bus. At least a bus you can sort of stand up, stretch your legs whenever you want and whatever else, I guess, or pull over. You can't necessarily ask the pilot to pull the plane over midair. That'd be all right.
Yeah. Look, I don't know what it is. I think we can... we've just got to keep trying stuff, and I love what they did against Southeast Melbourne, which we'll talk about in great depth in a minute. But they just came out and just wanted to play fast, which is the complete opposite of what they did against Cairns. So keep trying stuff, Scott. We'll crack it eventually, and I'm looking forward to making the Silverdome as big a fortress as my state's been for us over the years.
Yeah. Go up there, burn some incense or something, do
sage,
bloody clear sage, clear the juju out. Bad juju.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into antics and start reviewing the games. And look, like I said, we're not going to dwell on this. We've got 3 games to talk about. We're just going to sort of brush over some of it. I mean, by now, it's a little bit late to the post, but whatever. Perth, 84-95. What I will say about this was one of our Ignite games. We started off quite strong. It actually felt like we were going to do to Perth what we did to Sydney, and then the wheels fell off the bus a little bit. It just, I don't know what it was. It was almost like we gassed ourselves or something. What do you think, JD? Like, what do you notice about that game?
Yeah, the Jackies have this in them every now and then. It happens once a season. We'll have a a really poor showing at My State Arena. It happened on Christmas Day one year, where we just come out and we just have this flat game. Now, whether the adrenaline and the emotion from the Sydney Kings win, maybe we were still on the back end of a come down from that game, but it was just a low energy, low effort sort of game against the Wildcats. And hopefully we never see it again at My State, because that's not what we want.
And then we move into the Cairns game, 69-75. And again, it just felt like it was low energy. There was, I suppose the biggest threat for us thinking about it was going to be McVeigh. And yeah, McVeigh put on a pretty decent show. Andrew Andrews put on a phenomenal showing. Schofield was also pretty decent as well. What we could say is that there seemed to be a lot of not a lot. It felt like the pressure just wasn't on Cairns. They had a lot of time and space to really execute, and again, no obvious reason why. It's felt a bit funny, and then. Well, I'll leave this one to you because I can see you've put it in the show notes specifically. I was going to talk about it, but I'll give you a bit of shine. Talk to us about our boy Jack and what happened in that game for those who might have missed it.
Oh, if you didn't see it, our boy Jack McVeigh had the ball. Majuk Deng come over and tried to snatch it out of his hands and just held on to it a little bit, and they ended up in a bit of a bear hug situation before our boy, the Fresh Prince of Ben Air, came flying in. Jack Russell yapping his head off, and it was great. You've got it. I haven't got the vision here because it wasn't in the highlights package, but it was great to watch, and both teams were fired up.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it seemed funny to see Juk and McVeigh going at each other after how long they've been playing with each other, but I guess that's competition for you. When you're on opposite sides, it is what it is. But the loyalty of Ben Air, just out of nowhere, you just see him coming at it.
He's great.
I do. And speaking of Ben Air and him getting into it, it was even giving the refs some during the Southeast Melbourne game. I thought at one stage, they were just going to say, you get out. He was just not backing down. Yeah, I got to say, I do love the fight and the bloke. I love it. He's just, love it. Pitbull behaviour. Love it. Very good. But solid teammate and solid player. He has absolutely been an awesome pickup for us, and I'll argue that point. I really think just what he's bringing to the team is just brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
One interesting stat, I don't know if you saw it. Yeah, I've got one more thing. Against Cairns had 3 players who scored more than 3 points, and they still won. So Schofield, Andrew, McVeigh all scored in the 20s. The next highest scorer was Marcus Lee with 3.
Right.
And it seemed like a pretty simple formula to beat Cairns. You stop one of Admiral Schofield, Andrew Andrews, or Jack McVeigh, you stop the Cairns Taipans. But we couldn't do it. The defensive pressure wasn't there. We just sort of let them do their own thing. I don't know. I don't know if the light reflecting off Andrew Andrews' head was getting in their eyes a bit. I don't know what it was, but we were just off.
You're a smart ass, honestly. All right, well, lead us into Sem. Give us a bit of a talk about the Southeast Melbourne game.
Oh, what a game! What a game! I know we didn't come away with the chocolates, but it was so good to watch. It was so much fun putting this highlights package together today. 2 teams just going out and scoring. Unfortunately, Ben Air had a shot that was a centimetre off on the final buzzer, and it broke your heart to watch because it was set up for another Jackie's buzzer beater.
Absolutely,
it was great to watch.
I honestly thought it was going in. It just seemed to do the old rim rattle.
It got about halfway down, didn't it?
Yeah, and I heard commentary, why didn't we get it to Hamilton? Yeah, that was very simple to answer. He had two people just full on muscling him out. They knew exactly what was going to happen at that point. They were going to sit there and box out hard Hamilton. He would have had to have literally levitated to even line up that shot. So, no, it was heartbreaking. It was a solid game. There were a lot of pros to that game. The way we got out of the hole, the way we absolutely just kept gritting and grinding all the way through it. And we got to see some really, really solid plays there. Great to see Juk back on deck. He's absolutely nailing it. What did he have? 17.6 rebounds. I mean, that's unreal. He's just a machine. It was also good to see the Dart getting some real solid airtime as well,
wasn't
which
he
was
great?
fantastic. Yeah, he was getting amongst it and really making the most of it. And I think it was there was a pre-game presser he was involved in. He's like, yeah, he's just trying to win the trust over of coach. So hopefully Roffy's seeing the Dart really coming into his own, which will be fantastic because I think that young man's got a lot of potential.
100%, and I think he'll see a lot more game time now that TJ Starks has gone back to China. He's going to fulfill his contract over there as DJ returns to full fitness. So it'll be great to see the Dart get some more minutes because his passing, I don't know if you saw it in the highlights package there, he lobbed one. He's just got this vision, and he lobbed one the length of the court, and it just fell in Mags's lap. Easy layup. I really like Nick Stoddart, and I'm really keen on seeing him a bit more this season.
Absolutely. All right, well, who are we going to talk about this week? Because I mean, when we're on the back of 3 losses, it's kind of hard to really give man of the matches, players of the week, whatever you want to call it. So we kind of looked at it and went, let's look at a player focus, and we're going to look at Bryce Hamilton. There are 2 Bryces in the NBL, and they are both weapons. And our one is really starting to show that he's going to compete. Oh, look at that! He's going to absolutely compete for the name of GOAT, Bryce the GOAT. Go over your stats here, JD.
So it was we actually left the player of the match off all 3 games this week because there was only one player it could have been for all 3 games. Bryce Hamilton is just in a hot streak. 26 points against Perth, 21 against Cairns, 36 points against Southeast Melbourne. The JackJumpers have only ever had 4 players score 30 points or more. Can you name them, Berto? I thought we'd do a bit of trivia this week. Can you name them?
36 points or more. Well, I'm going to say Josh Adams had to be one of them.
Yep.
And how many did you say we've had?
We've had 4.
I'm going to say Doyle.
Yes. He's done it 5 or 6 times.
36 points or more. Adams, Doyle, Crawford.
That's the 4. Teapot.
Right.
Very, very good.
There you go. There you go. See, not too bad on the old trivia. The old brain's not too bad.
Done well. We'll get you along to pub quiz one night. So it is so obvious that Bryce Hamilton is too good for this league. He's just making it look easy, which not a lot of imports do, to be honest. There's been some very good players in this league. We haven't seen anything like Bryce Hamilton at the JackJumpers yet. We've had a lot of very good team players. We've never had an out and out star like Bryce Hamilton is. He's just a class above everyone, and he's so fun to watch.
Absolutely.
Just keep doing what you're doing, Bryce. It's awesome.
I am really excited for DJ coming back because I think once the 2 of them start firing together again, we saw glimmers of it. I think the 1-2 punch of those 2, backed up by Tiger.
Yep.
Oh, it's going to be deadly. It's going to be deadly. And then with Mags, and then really you could sit there and, put in Drim, you could put in
Bannon.
Air, you could put in Bannon. Yeah, anyone really could slip in there. Deng, of course, Deng. We don't forget
Absolutely,
Deng.
our boy.
We could, you could literally just dominate at any point in time. And I think they could be what would allow us to really take it out in clutch moments. So I really do hope that injury doesn't slow down DJ. And that he comes back and he's able to find form pretty quick, which is always a concern when you've been out. Yeah, you're doing training behind the scenes and whatever else and recovery. But hopefully, it's not like we've still got your back and then you need that time back in, if that makes sense. So we shall see.
The calf is a tricky one as well. It's a bit of a worry about redoing that. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's get to Ants on the March and have a look at our previews. And we've got one upcoming game, which is against the Brisbane Bullets on Saturday, November 8th at My State Bank Arena, 5:30 if you're tuning in, or if you're going to be down there, get down there a little bit earlier. They usually always got some great activations down there and whatever else. It's always good value. The Bullets are coming off a big win against the Cairns Taipan, 28-point win over the Taipans. Meanwhile, we lose to them. It's a bit of a worry, and they're currently the Bullets are sitting 7th on the ladder. We're 6th.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So this is going to be a matchup. I really do think this is a matchup. Had you asked me a couple of weeks ago, wouldn't have even factored this one. I would have been like, yeah, whatever. Let's go. They're at home. We're going to steamroll.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling a win on this, but I am concerned. It's going to be good to see Magnay versus Harrison. I think those two big bodies belting each other around is going to be fantastic. And JD's made a point, which I totally agree with in the show notes here. Which Jalen Adams will we get? If he's on and he's on hard, this is going to be a challenge for us. So, yeah, I will call a win on this one, but that is with concern. I really hope that being back at my state with the full Ant Army doing Ant Army-like things, getting behind the guys, and hopefully they've been able to get the smallest bit of serious rest in their own bed. Hopefully, this pulls us a win. Your thoughts, JD?
Yeah, you summed it up really well. To beat the Cairns by 28 points after they came and made it, to make them look silly after they've made us look silly, it's really hard to tell if Brisbane are really good or if Cairns are just really awful and we had a shocker. Yeah, look, last time we played against them, they didn't put up much of a fight up at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre. I think we'll get a win. I'm not too concerned about this one, but saying that, I wasn't too concerned about the Wildcats or the Taipans or the Phoenix.
Yeah. And this is, as I say, this feels like it's just that mid-season slump we tend to have. We've always had it, and then we find our stride. And I mean, even last season, where we didn't really progress too far into the finals, we literally just had the Plains game and got eliminated. We still came with quite a bit of fight, and we had been on the back of quite a number of bad games and whatever else. So hopefully this is, I really hope that this game is what helps them get they get a win, they dust themselves off a little bit and go, righto, let's get back to business.
One thing I will say is there, like, even though we've lost the last 3 on the trot, there have been some really good signs. Our rebound game is finally back. We won the rebound against Perth, and we won the rebounds against Southeast Melbourne, and our free throws have improved so much as well. Magnay got 2 in a row on the weekend.
Yeah, I think I went and got
That's
a lotto
how good
ticket.
our free throws are going at the moment. If Mags can get 2 in a row, you know you're having a good day.
Absolutely. And look, this is no disrespect to Big Mags. He does so much right. And
We love him.
his free throws are improving. Yeah, it's just you can almost set your watch to a 50% hit. But anyway,
50%er. He's just a 50%er. Let's get that to 60 Mags. We'll be wrapped.
Absolutely. All right, Ant Army update. What's going on in the community and all? And JD, you've got some news for us.
Oh, look, it was a bit quiet on the Facebook page the last couple of weeks, so I just thought I would reach out. This is the 23-24 NBL Champions Tasmania JackJumpers Facebook page. Fan page. It's a bit of a it's a generous title, we'll call it. And I noticed it just gone a bit quiet the last couple of weeks. Only really the AI approved posts were coming through. So I just thought I'd reach out and see how they were going. I obviously look after the Tasmanian Devils supporter page. And I just said, look, I look after a page with 20,000 members. Be happy to help the Jackies, which has 10,000 members, and they've made me a moderator. So I'm now approving my own posts. So you'll be seeing a lot more Ants Nest content on the Facebook page. And it should be a lot more responsive now. I'm lucky enough to be able to keep an eye on it from my desk most days. So I've been very busy approving posts. So if you've got something to say about the Jackies, put it up on the 2023-24 NBL Champions Tasmania JackJumpers fan page.
That is a mouthful. It is a mouthful. And look, if there's anyone in the fan page who is watching and listening to this, we don't just want to be sitting there swamping the fan page with come and watch our podcast, come and listen to our podcast. If you want to get involved, if you've got a decent camera, half decent microphone, reach out to us. If you want to come and have a chat, we'd love to have you on the podcast. I mean, we are serious, particularly since stepping away from the basketball fix. We want to be the Fan for Fans podcast that was always the vision. And yeah, the more we can hear from the fans, the more we can hear just real fans talking real thoughts about their favorite team. And this extends to when JD ends up launching Devil's Den, and if he ever decides to do the Hobart Hurricanes one as well. So that's a real possibility. See what goes on there. But yeah, I think JD's starting to realise just how much work all this takes. Might have scared him off a little bit.
It's not small.
No. And yet, we don't make any money off any of this. So if there's anyone who is listening who would like to sponsor the show to help us cover, just our time, hell, even if it's just to provide us with maybe some free beer or something like that, we're easy. Product is always good. I like fragrances. JD likes hair products, or,
And snacks.
whatever. And snacks, beers, snacks, whatever. And you just want to get your brand out there. Look, we're growing. We are growing. I won't lie to you. We are growing slowly, but we are a niche podcast. We're currently talking to community radio stations around Tasmania. In those, the conversations are literally in the point where we're getting scheduling to happen. So if you'd like to get your brand out there, we're happy to promote particularly Tasmanian brands. Yeah, so reach out. All right. Well, you can talk about what you want people to do. You go and put little buddy commands into the show notes. Go on.
I forgot about that. I'm just interesting. I was having a look at the analytics on YouTube. I'm an analyst by day, kind of.
You're a nerd,
and I am a nerd. And I just thought, look, if you've made it this far, why don't you leave us a little basketball emoji in the comments and let us know who's making it all the way to the end. That'd be really cool. We love comments. If you want to comment, do it. But we'd love a little basketball in the comments. If you've made it this far.
Awesome. Yeah, please do. Let us know where. And if you're listening on multiple platforms, let us know where you're listening to us or watching us from. So YouTube, obviously, for all the video, and then we've got the podcast on YouTube Music, on Spotify, on Apple Music, and then obviously there could be other apps that are picking it up and whatever else. Let us know. I mean, look, we really want to make sure that everyone's getting access to us. And yeah, it's always nice to know who's listening and where you're listening from. We also want to give a huge shout out to TJ Starks, who it was only a short time, but it was a good time. Didn't see a lot of court time, which understandably we didn't want to become too reliant on him. I get coach's decision for that. But he was able to come in, and for the amount of time he did get on the court, he certainly made an impact. And hopefully this was almost like a try before you buy for next season. So hopefully we already are having conversations. Back. Oh, for sure. And I hope we are having preliminary conversations with him to say, hey, just keep yourself near the phone come, drafting time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Really appreciate TJ Starks' time. That game, the first game he played for us when he came in for the injury replacement for DJ was just stunning, and he won the game for us, and we won't forget that in a hurry. So yeah, come back down under, TJ. You are more than welcome.
Absolutely. All right, old mate. Well, I think we've come to the end of the episode. We've managed to fit a lot into only a slightly extended episode. Make sure you do tune in each and every week. We will continue to try and pump this out as on time as possible. And, of course, Ant Army, march on.